Hey everyone, Christian here. Want to bring back a few palm reviews. It's been a little while. And this right here is Dypsis pinnatifrons, which is a beautiful palm from Madagascar, and is in the, let me let this gentleman come through with the diesel backhoe here. And so this is from Madagascar. It grows in tropical wet and dry forest, and it grows at a little bit of elevation, so that's a positive thing. It means it's a little bit cold hardy. It's not a very tender plant. So let's do a little 360 here, or I said 180, I guess. Better look at the leaflet. So the name pinnatifrons is kind of describing it. It has pinnate frons, so that's the Latin for that. It's pretty easy to kind of decipher that. So you can just see that it kind of grows these leaflets semi-regularly. There'll be 3 alternating. You have 3 here and 3 offset there, and they're not in one plane entirely, but they do kind of curve in such a way that they kind of get this teardrop shape with the little drip tip on the end. And they're a very dainty palm. That trunk is only about 3/4 of an inch thick, and that's about the typical size for that trunk. So this is a very small ornamental. You could get a dozen of these, in little 1 gallons. Put them on your patio, and when it's cold, you can take them in. They do pretty well. They're not very temperamental to a lot of scale or fungus. I mean, you might, like any palm, you may lose 1 or 2 if you have a ton of them, but in general they hold up pretty well. So they're pretty, as far as their cold hardiness, they're pretty cold hardy for, I mean, they're not, I wouldn't call it a cold tolerant species out of like Dypsis, but they'll handle 9B. They're not very super delicate. They don't want full sun. You're going to want to put them in more shade is better. You don't have to put them in deep shade, but maybe like 50%. Trying to put them in direct sun. If you can put them in like a open canopy so the sun can get through from time to time, that's probably ideal. This is a pretty good, this is a pretty decent looking species here. You kind of get the darker look the closer you get to the petiole there. It has almost no petiole, actually. It's almost all rachis, because there's no part of this where there aren't leaflets coming straight out of the crown. So the seeds on these are relatively easy to grow. They're going to be the shape of, if I can remember correctly, a small pea. And just give them about 30 Celsius, so 32 Celsius, and that's at 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Let them grow up about, let them sit for about a month or so, and you should get you get pretty decent germination on these. This is a pretty old, not old, but this is an older plant than it looks. It's probably 5 years old, maybe. And this is almost mature. It's going to put out a flower bract relatively soon, as they don't get much. They don't get any thicker than this. That's as thick as this palm will get, because it does have woody trunk. And they will get a lot taller, though. I've seen them about 3 times as tall as this, so maybe 12 feet tall. But they're very cool. They don't take up a lot of room, and they're not spiny or anything, so you can kind of walk amongst them. And these, Dypsis is in the Neophloga subfamily of Dypsis. There's 7 subfamilies, and there might be more now that there's more being discovered, but there were 7 when they split up, when they grouped all of them into Dypsis. So this will include like Dypsis florentii, Dypsis rosea, Dypsis species pink crown shafts, which is very similar to this plant, but it has a pink crown shaft. This one has a green one. So if you like those understory ornamentals, if you like growing stuff like camedarias, this is going to be a good plant for you. You won't really find these much for sale outside of more tropical areas like Florida. You might see them in California. If you want to, you can try and order them from Hawaii, or if you live abroad, you can order them from Hawaii, I believe, as well, or you can grow them from seed. And they don't, like I said, they're not that hard to grow. I always find it rewarding to grow from seeds. So anyway, I think that's about it for this plant. There's the crown has a little bit of black fuzzy tomentum. It's nothing too significant, but it will kind of, you know, have a nice little look for a little while before it does turn gray. But that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel and want to see more palm videos, go ahead and subscribe, and more shall be coming. And if you have any questions about Neoploga or Dypsis pinnatifrons, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Everyone have a nice day.